With the fears of an uncertain future now extinguished, Huset Speedway is attempting to reestablish itself as one of the top dirt track facilities in the country. One major step, of course, was the return of weekly racing, which resumed Mother's Day weekend. We recently caught up with Huset's general manager, Doug Johnson, to learn a little bit more about the process of building this year's schedule, as well as ownership's overall vision.
Well, they are racing weekly for the first time since 2016, and here at Huset Speedway. And Doug, I got to ask, first and foremost, what's it like for you to be a part of bringing back that weekly schedule to this historic facility?
Well, it's extremely exciting. You know, I grew up as a kid coming to races here, and I was a track photographer here, and I've spent a lot of Sunday nights out here. And not only for me, but I think for the whole racing community and the community of Brandon and Sioux Falls, I think it's huge to have weekly racing back here at Huset Speedway. It's just, it's something that's been needed for a long time, and I think the fans have really, really missed it, and we're excited to have it back.
Yeah, speaking of the fans, what's the response been like to this point?
It's been tremendous. You know, we had one night where the weather was kind of crappy, and, we didn't have a really great turnout, but, that happens. But this past weekend with Memorial Day, 2 nights of racing, we had tremendous turnouts, so we were extremely excited with that.
Well, the schedule is loaded, that's for sure. 24 total events. What were some of the goals that you guys had as you put that thing together this year?
Well, it was just to bring a variety of different, classes of cars and different sanctioning bodies to the area. That's one thing that we've tried to build over in Jackson, is to get bigger events and get some different sanctioning bodies that the average race fan doesn't get to see week in and week out. And we've got our weekly racing program, but like this past week, on Monday, the Tri-State Late Miles, they don't get to race here very often. And that's one example of bringing in a different class of cars. And, we're looking to do that here at Huset's and at Jackson both.
Well, you are highlighted by the Showdown. Huset's 50, it's coming up toward the end of June. And that really kicks off a pretty incredible week that includes the Jackson Nationals when you put those two events in tandem. Is there a plan to make that kind of an annual thing, just a real showcase for this area and sprint car racing?
Yeah, I think so. And not only sprint car racing, but we're talking with a couple other different sanctioning bodies right now for 2022. We're already planning that event and trying to get those dates announced here real soon. But yeah, the ultimate goal is to bring a whole week of racing for race fans where they can come and camp for the whole week and have some really quality racing here and at Jackson both, and make it an annual event is what our ultimate goal is.
Well, back at Huset's here, and from a facility standpoint, this place was pretty well ready to go when you guys took over. But as you look at it and kind of think forwardly, what kinds of things might be on the docket in terms of enhancing that fan experience even further?
Well, it was really ready to go, and that's one thing that helped us kind of transition into this last year with the few events we have. But, we're, like I said, the one big enhancement we made this year was putting, decks on the VIP suites. That's been a tremendous asset for everybody up there. As you can see behind us, they're just finishing up our campground. We'll have 70 spots, available here in the next week or so for camping. And, Todd's always thinking ahead. He's got some plans to, down the road to possibly put in more seating and maybe another suite tower somewhere around here as well.
As you consider it now, and I know you've got a long way to go in this season, but what's it going to take for you to be able to look back and deem this first season in control of Huset Speedway as a success?
Well, I think just, with the quality of racing, and that's been proven on the racetrack, to have decent quality of cars every week, which we've had, and then to have the fan support. As long as we can keep the cars and the fans coming and put on quality racing, I'd say it's a success.